everyone, welcome to Weekend Project. I'm Laura Lynn of the Mom and Pop Quilt Shop and we're very happy to see you here today. Today we're working on our Prairie Point project. Now I've tried to figure out what we could do with a Prairie Point and I've come up with a couple of ideas. I thought of a carpet and then it was like a side decorative part to a bag. Pot holder like to a hot pad. It could be a placemat. It could be many different things. So I started off with just taking some of this, it's like faux leather pleather sort of material I have here, and it's pretty durable because I figured it was a good way to start. And then I was folding my points and then just kind of lining them up so they kind of look like dragon scales a little bit. So this is me just starting on the one side and working about every half an inch towards the center, trying to lay it on line. Just was trying to keep me on the straight and like to kind of keep so I wasn't going all weebly wobbly, though I think that would be really cool too. And then I cut my squares at 3.5 by 3.5 to get the Prairie Point this way, okay? And then I thought, okay, well, what else could we do besides this? And I thought, okay, well, what if we put it in a square form, like we start like doing as a picture frame, right? And then we could actually frame something in the inside here if we wanted to. Like, what about a piece of a cross stitch or a kid's art or a favorite something or other, whatever. I'm sure you can think of lots of things. And then you could do that there or keep filling it up. If you wanted to keep filling it up, it would look something like this in the end. And I think that's perfect for a side of a decorative bag, for a hot pad for the counter or the kitchen table and stuff like that. I just did a yo-yo, a reverse yo-yo in the center, but I did find it really thick in here stitching through, but that could be because of what I tried to use as my stabilizing fabric or a foundation fabric. So you could, and then you can just kind of either square it up as you're going or round it out like I did this one. I started this one off as a circle. I went all the way around the outside edge and then just overlapped where the gap in between I put another point, or try to, but it's, as it gets into the center, it gets smaller and smaller and smaller. But I think it's totally cute. I didn't quite know what to do with the rest of the bolt of this fabric. It was a batik. It wasn't my favorite, but it was a really good deal. So I thought, how could I try to turn it, an ugly fabric, not necessarily ugly fabric, but maybe not one of my favorite fabrics, into something that is turning out to be beautiful. And I don't know about you, but that's screaming beautiful to me. So, all right, so let's get started. So we'll just kind of work on a few of this one here, but you can definitely get yourself motivated if you want to do something like that. It's just a little simple of either working in a square or working in a circle, and then if you want to do one of each and you pop it in the center, you got it stacked or something. Make it like a stacked sandwich. All right, so what I did is I took my bit of fabric and folded corner to corner, and then again corner to corner, and made that Prairie Point right here. So when we go to lay it down, we're going to lay it on the line, but we're also going to try and stay within where we need to as a peak line of the Prairie Point peak to kind of go up in a straight line. I kind of got a little askew here. I think maybe I wasn't, you need to if you're going to overlap, make sure that it's the same distance every single time or it's going to look a little wonky. So we're going to try and get back on track here. You don't necessarily need pins for this because if you're just doing it right at the machine, you're just going to put one right in after the other. So I did find when I was trying to load it at the machine, pressing some of the point beforehand was a little easier. And if I flipped and flopped the fold, if I went this way on one row and then this way on another, that also helped. So like I said, if you have to, make sure it's overlapping, but make sure you're also trying to line up. Like I say, you don't really need the pins, but we're just going to pin the first row so you can just see what I got going on here. Okay. But we're also trying to keep in with the row previously and the one previous before that for lining up. Now, if I was doing this, finish this off as a carpet, which I will, I'll try and get to the center, and then in the center, I'm not sure, maybe we'll do one up straight this way or something, or just do it all one direction. I mean, the options are yours. Go around and play and have some fun. And, make that kid the dinosaur, little bed carpet that he's always wanted. So, Okay, oops, that was a little off. See, those other ones are really, really off. There's definitely a big overlap here. Move that one back there. But the lines will definitely help you keep your Prairie Points straight. Scoot that down a little bit. You know, this could represent dragon scales, dinosaur scales, alligator scales, fish. If you could, you know, do fish scales, maybe figure out how to round them. All right. And then we're just going to do row after row after row until you're happy with what it looks like. And I think this as a textured side of a tote bag or something would be like totally cool. And of course you could do with all sorts of fabrics as well. Okay, ooh, turn on the machine. I hadn't turned it on yet. Let's see, our thread has come undone. It is a beautiful day here. Absolutely loving it. All right. Now I'm just using regular thread and a regular universal needle for this. When it came to the center of the pretty circular one here, there we go, you can see that. It is really thick, so I would probably start using a jean if you were a jean needle, and maybe even a bit of a thicker thread if you were finding some issues, okay? All right, so just keep that going straight. Don't sew over your pins, but try to keep that raw edge, the raw edge of your Prairie Point right on the line. And I think that was enough for overlap, but you can see a bit of this stitch line here, so maybe you may want to do it a little bit less. I mean, that's up to you. I kind of think it adds a little bit of the texture, but you know, you may not want to see those stitch lines. And that I totally understand. And then when it came to the edges that I needed to fold one, I just literally folded it into the spot where it was going to fit the best it could, and then left it like that. And same when it came to starting it off. If I wanted to start it off, because it had to be started off a different way, fold it on the second one, sort of thing. So, okay. And then I just did that for the next and the next and the next. So, and you could turn out something quite nice in a half decent amount of time, and you're maybe recycling a fabric that was not your favorite, but now it's going to turn into one of a family favorites. So, yeah, just put a little stack of your folded triangles on the side, and then, like I said, I was flipping and flopping where the fold was. Okay, so we're going to make sure the fold is going this way this time, and this needs to come in a little bit. So we're lining up with the other row, going on the line or just above the line. Stitch down a few, grab the next one, okay? And then make sure again your fold is where it needs to be in the opposite. You don't have to have it in the opposite direction. I just thought it might be a little bit for visual play. So to get that little bit of a highs and lows and valleys and stuff. So there we go. And then once you get a few stitches in, you can try and line up the next one. And if you got something variegated like this, or ombre or mixed colored like this bit of fabric that we had here for this project, you're going to get such a play on all sorts of different colors. Because as it's folded, like I've got a bit of purple there, looks like a sunset or an eye in the sky or something like that, or like a pyramid. And then this is, looks like a bit of a waterfall, or something from the Amazon. Depends on which way it ends up getting laid out. Sorry. Everybody's been mowing like crazy. I hear in people's mowers all the time, that and chainsaws. Mowers and chainsaws. Welcome to summer. Well, late spring and summer. All right, oopsies, got a little wayward on our placement there. Just gotta stretch over a little bit here. This would be a fun project to maybe recycle an old blanket. You maybe could just do triangle pieces if it's like a thicker blanket, like a wool one or something. That would be kind of cool to see what we could do. Reduce, reuse, recycle. All right. Place that there. And then just start going on the next row, row after row after row. In fact, if that's the way you want it to go, I think it would look really neat being all laid in the one direction. So you can just keep plugging away and finish it off. But this as a hot pad, or like I said, even as a nice decorative side to a tote bag, totally cute. Even a pocket. People wouldn't even suspect it was a pocket sticking in there. That'd be awesome. That would be awesome. I hope you try playing with some Prairie Points today. Hope you have a fantastic weekend. Don't forget to join us Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern for our live stream. You just never know what we're going to be working on. Oops, there we go. And I hope you try this project. Take care, everybody. Big hugs from us at the Mom and Pop Quilt Shop.